Well, I get this question a lot. People want to know how am I always inspired to make music and put out a lot of YouTube videos. Just like you, I get uninspired sometimes. I think we all have days where we start something and we don't finish it. Or you start something and you delete it. Have you ever had those days? Well, I do. But I feel like something is very bad, or maybe something is just not worth finishing, you know? So I do have those days, but I want to give you some few things that I do to actually get myself inspired. Well, first thing, you have to listen to a lot of music. Like if you listen to a lot of music, especially different types of genres, you are bound to be able to mix and match a lot of sounds. So every sound, it will not be like this is an Amapiano sound, this is an Afro house sound, but it will be like good sounds. That's why you'll be inspired to make good music. And then I feel like that will be the first start to everything else. Let's just get on my chair and try to make some music. I believe the second thing that you have to do to get inspired is to collaborate with other artists, or also sometimes is to find like maybe an acapella as a producer, like find an acapella, put it in your FL Studio like that, and then try to create like a remix. Later on, just remove the vocals, then you have your own beats, you know, so it will sound dope. No one will know where you got that from, you know, because it's your version of the certain song. And then you just remove those vocals, then you make your own beat, and you find yourself another vocalist, and then you got yourself a new song, you know. So I think that's another way, one of the things that will work, you know. Just collaborate with others because they also bring ideas to your music, you know. So make sure you do that. Try that. It's a good idea too, you know. Let's create some music still. So I feel like the other thing that you have to do to get inspired is to also try to experiment with new plugins, you know. So normally I know that I have a lot of plugins and I like to just try out some sounds inside a plugin, you know. Sometimes you don't have to like look at what other producers like presets they're using. You can also just try to find your own presets that will work for you. Like there's a lot of presets around the world, you know, around every plugin. So what you have to do is just go inside it, listen to a sound. Sometimes you have to use your own type of presets. Like for now, I don't think you've seen anybody use the preset that I used for a pet right now, you know, and it's how I also try to EQ it to make sure that it's a bit unique, you know, it gets to sound the way that I want it to sound, you know. So try to experiment with some VST plugins. You'll find some nice presets and then you'll get inspired. Every time you press that thing, you're like, wow, this is nice. If I had to play like this, and the next thing you have a beat completed, you know. So try that out. It can get you inspired. Or sometimes if you find yourself stuck, what you have to do is take a break. Make sure that you just leave the studio for a little bit. Go outside, go out, take a walk or something. Just make sure that you don't stick around looking at your screen for too long, especially when you don't have ideas for a certain beat or a certain track, you know. Just make sure that you just get out of the studio a little bit. Just take a pause, because it's important that you don't get to hear what you've been working on because you're stuck. Make sure that you just leave it for a little bit, and then when you come back, you will come back with ideas. Trust me, it happens to me a lot. I do that all the time, so it might help you out as well. So let's try create more, man. Again, if you want to stay inspired, you have to also stay organized, you know. Some people can't finish beats because their work is really not organized, you know. So like me right now, when you look at the screen, you will notice that I already have a formula for how I organize my things. At the top is my drums and some effects, and then when you come to this point, it's like my bass lines, and then when you come to this point is my synths and everything. And normally my chords are the first ones on my synths and everything. So basically I know how to actually which one I can take out first. If I feel like the bass is not needed here, I'm not gonna look for it around here. I'm gonna look for it at the top there, because I already know how organized I am, you know. So it makes things easier for like that, you know. So I know when I do this, so arrangements become easier with an organized work, you know. So that's how some of the things you should do. Stay organized so that you can be able to finish your work, and then that way you will stay inspired to continue, because it will be easier to work. And lastly, the next thing that you can do to stay inspired is to always learn, you know. Watch YouTube videos, find yourself a short course to get into, you know. I use Udemy, or you can use Skillshare to find some courses as well online. And also, always, you can also go to school. And you also stay inspired like that, you know. So make sure that you stay inspired, man. Stay inspired, man. I hope this was helpful. Now let me know which one works for you in all the 6 things that I've mentioned. And yeah, man, there's a small beat that I was just making with you now. Hope you also like this. Try to complete it after this.